What are eating disorders like? You feel uncomfortable in your body. You feel your body is wrong. You want it to be different. It's betraying you.
Wow.
So here you are. Everyone's telling you that you should be one gender and you know that you're a different one. Like, of course they go hand in hand.
Hello, friends,
Hello, friends.
and welcome to Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast where we are allergic to plans,
And sometimes things go awry. Again.
where things do often go awry. I'm Christina,
And I'm Lauren.
and today we are going to have a very casual kind of check-in episode. We were going to do a Pride episode with Orion, but we were having technical difficulties, and so yeah, now it's just me and Lauren shooting the shit. But we do have a lot to talk about. So without further ado, Lauren, where are you at?
So
I say that like it hasn't been like 20 minutes of us just trying to get this to work.
it's like, oh, hello, nice to see you. But it's
Oh my god, I'm getting a phone call from him. Hello? I'm putting it on speaker so Lauren can hear it too. Hey.
Hey, the internet is working, but like the website is not working for me. But if it works just between you guys, then I guess that's weird.
That is weird. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell him I said we have all the month of June. We'll try. We'll
so
for sure try
unless
again.
there's another way for me to hear and speak and call in, I think you guys are without me today.
That's okay. We tried, and we really appreciate you for showing up. Lauren says we have the entire month of June.
We only have Pride Month because after that, we're invisible again.
Yep.
Not that the point of Pride Month is not visibility. I would like to be less visible. I would like to stop being seen and have things assumed about me by cis and straight people. Actually, if you don't know by now, you don't know. We don't need to do anything to be seen. The point is just the fact that we are the only normal people in the whole world, and that's all I have to say on that, I guess.
Amen.
Everybody else is, I don't know what they're doing. I'm scared.
It's a real weird time.
Of most people.
Lauren says you should be scared of most people.
Well,
we're gonna
I know.
we're gonna get on with the recording somehow. We'll just shoot the shit or something, but I'll text you later, okay? We'll miss you.
Yeah. We got to see your face.
Lauren is glad that she got to see your face. Oh, okay. All right, bye. Okay, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Anyway. Tell us where you're at.
Yes. I think I'd start to say I am at peak stress. Been talking about this the last few months, all the things that are going on, and at least the condo stuff is all coming to a head. Last week, I totally had a whirlwind where I was told that the seller might be willing to close early, and my close date was supposed to be June 12th, and then they were like, so they would be June 5th, and I was like, okay, I'll make that happen. I'd love to get in early. And then as soon as I was getting that all ready, then it was like, just kidding. There was some miscommunication. It will be early, but it's June 10th.
By the way, we're recording this on June 6th.
Oh yeah, because it'll come out on June 10th. I'll be closing.
When this comes out, you'll be closing.
Yes.
Oh my god. I haven't seen you smile that big on the podcast in forever.
Because I am so excited to get out of this place. It keeps getting worse. My floors that were spurting water are only worse now, even though they claimed that they fixed it. My management company is a bag of dicks.
Heard it here first.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, like last night, it was just kind of like everything going on. Oh, and the fact that like my windows clearly aren't sealed at all, and my back kitchen door is so like not sealed and off kilter that when they cut the grass, then grass clippings spray all over my kitchen floor.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So I wonder why I have a bug problem here.
Ugh.
Yeah. And so that I'm sure is why there was big nasty spider in my room, because it's getting warmer and now the bugs are infesting again. Oh, I almost said his name. I forgot that I'm just calling him the boyfriend on here.
The bassist.
Or the bassist. But he was over like last week and was like, I stepped on something wet. That's in like a carpeted room, not where my floors are leaking. And he looks down and he's like, it's a slug.
On a carpet?
There is a slug in my bedroom.
I'm sorry. That's just so ridiculous. I have
know.
so many questions. Like, how did it get there? Why was it on a
probably just
carpet?
squeezed into, one of the cracks that's like this big.
Yeah, but why would it be on the carpet?
I don't know.
Does it think it's plants or something?
Like, I would think if it got in here, it'd head to like the bathroom or places where it's wet.
I also really want to name this episode Slug in My Bedroom.
Slug in my bedroom. Slug
Since
in my
there's
room.
no other theme today, apparently.
But yeah, so last night, I mean, I was practically having a meltdown just because everything so bad was happening, and I was like, it's 5 days and I'm not going to make it. I don't think I can do it. But I will. And it is really close.
Yeah, you can do anything for 4 days, right?
Yeah. Let's hope so.
How's your mental health?
Sorry, now my eyes itching.
Just starts crying immediately.
Yeah.
My eye's itching too. It's so annoying.
I know. It's hard to say because with everything going on, I think I've gotten to the point where I'm just kind of like, my brain doesn't work. Because that was also last night. It's like my boyfriend called and he notes, he's like, you're not really responsive or talkative. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? After the full workday and everything else that I'm trying to straighten out, I don't have it in me, so we didn't talk long. And then my mom called and she's like, what's wrong? And I just tried to tell her the same thing. And she just seemed all like upset and offended because that's the way she gets. It's like, you're not talking to me. And I was like, I just explained to you why not. And then my dad calls, and that one I was just like, God damn, I gotta let this one go to voicemail. Why is everyone calling me on a night that I just can't?
It's funny because when you like want to talk to people, there's no one around, and then when you're busy, everyone decides to check in on you and demand your time, and it's just like, oh, I love you guys, but I'm so busy right now and I can't even breathe, and this is just not helping.
But I will say, with all of that going on, I had my aerial class last night, and I did notice, I noticed when I was driving home, and I was really bummed out that I was coming back to this place and it's so terrible and everything, but I was just like, you know what? For an hour and a half, I did not live in a shithole. Like, my brain just forgets. So it just, cements that it's kind of like, that's something that I need to, just...
To not live in a shithole?
well, I mean for my mental health.
To forget that you live in a shithole.
That I need to just, clear my brain for a minute and just enjoy what I'm doing and move and not have to think.
Oh my God, yeah.
I really appreciate that.
That's what biking does for me. Like, if I'm feeling claustrophobic in my apartment, if I'm annoyed at my roommate, I'll just jump on my bike and escape for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else.
You're here.
Yeah.
No, seriously, thank you for being here. I know you're super busy, and
I'm here and stressed the fuck out.
Hell yeah. This is Pickles and Vodka, so
yeah.
You're in the right place.
So where are you at?
I'm also pretty stressed out for different reasons, obviously. So I don't even know how to start. I'm basically sober now. And it happened by accident.
Okay.
As you notice, I don't have a vape. I have
did
not
notice, mostly because I'm so stressed that I feel like I've been hitting mine every 5 seconds. I was like,
yeah, well, so I don't know if I've ever talked about kratom on here before.
I think maybe a little, but just mention you've done it.
So kratom is a supplement. It's like a natural opioid. That's how some people have described it. It's comes from a plant and it's sold in powder form. And I've used it in the past, when I lived in Seattle, just to kind of chill out. It's good for chronic pain too. And I was over exercising a ton and sore all the time. And so the kratom just allowed me to push past that. and forget that I was in pain.
Right.
And I would take it like sporadically a few months here and there, but I was always able to stop. So this year, I started taking it only a few months ago. I just picked it up right around the time I quit PHP, actually, which tells you something
Okay.
about me.
Yeah.
Because I got sober from weed during PHP, and I was, I didn't have a lot of coping mechanisms. I was like, all right, let's do kratom again. It's harmless. So yeah, I was just taking more and more and more of it until, bro, stop it.
I know, I'm watching him in the background.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Anyway, my use just kept escalating for the last few months, and I was taking like 20 grams a day. Which, 2 grams is the serving size. So
Okay.
I ran out when my family got back from the beach, and I didn't buy more. 24 hours after I took my last dose, I felt like I'd been run over by a train.
Oh, wow.
Like, I was aching all over. At first I thought it was just from exercising too much. And then I was like, okay, I'm coming down with the flu. And then I was like, okay, this is complications from bulimia and I'm dying. But it was just withdrawals, pure and simple. And everyone on Reddit said that the withdrawals from kratom are really strong and terrible.
Wow.
And I didn't listen.
And
it's been 5 days now, and I'm just now starting to like feel normal.
Yeah.
Like I still get restless legs at night. It's the worst. But anyway, because I was going through withdrawals, all my vapes started tasting awful. I started feeling so nauseous. Like I couldn't even smoke weed. I didn't have any weed. And I was just like, I don't know why. It just was so easy to just not do it. And every day that I haven't done it, it's just like, well, let's see how long I can go.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, unfortunately, it feels pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm saving a lot of money. But with that said, emotionally, I've been kind of all over the place. I cried every day. Like the first 3 days of the withdrawals, I was like crying every morning, and it was just a lot. But I've been distracting myself with work, as one does.
Yes.
And yeah, that's basically where I'm at in this moment. I'm feeling pretty good. A little scared because I'm not used to this, and I don't trust myself necessarily
Yeah.
to stay sober because in the past I
Which
haven't.
is fair because, yeah, you've gone back a few times.
But like, I was just journaling about this. I feel so fucking exhausted. Like, I just want to get, like, last week we were talking about the hamster wheel. I just want to get off the hamster wheel. I want to feel like an adult. I want to take care of myself. I want my life to get started. I feel like I've been in limbo for so many years because of all this fucking stuff. And I don't know. I think it's just a good time to start taking more care of myself. Ugh.
Ooh.
Gross.
Yeah, that thing that we don't like to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. So since we don't have a guest today, like we were supposed to, I do want to at least acknowledge Pride and like what, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it at all this year because I've been so busy and, withdrawing,
Yeah.
But this is my second Pride since coming out. And I don't know. I guess I'm feeling a lot of imposter syndrome because I haven't had any queer relationships, even though it's been 2 years. I was doing other things. And I don't feel like I have too much of a queer community here where I'm at in Virginia. One of the reasons why I want to move to Richmond. But I don't know. It's something that I always felt kind of cynical about because like the businesses would put up their rainbow flags and everything and have the parades, and it seemed very performative almost. And I don't know, how do you think the vibe is this year? Because it feels kind of different.
Well, first of all, that was oh, where did my thought go?
It's on the wall behind you.
With the spiders.
With the spiders. Sorry.
No, that was something that I was thinking about for the little bit that we got to talk to Orion today. Basically where he said, like, this doesn't have to be, like the only time it's visible, and I don't necessarily want to be visible. And so that's what made me think of like, well, then would you necessarily need to beat yourself up about saying, like, I haven't had a relationship, I don't have a community? Like, it seems to me like the idea is just kind of some people are gay and some people are not. And if, if only the world could be ideal, then you wouldn't have to have, like specific groups that you hang out to say like, oh good, you all understand me, because so much
Yeah.
of the world doesn't. It could just be a thing, like I have brown hair and some people don't.
Yeah. And I think that's why I've never really, with the exception of 1 year, I've never really done anything pride themed on the podcast, because it's just like, it's just another month, we're existing.
Yeah.
We're here.
You don't go into a cave and then come out in June and then like July back in the cave.
Wait, really? That's not how that works?
Yeah, you should start staying out of the cave the other 11 months of the year.
Damn. That makes so much sense why I'm depressed now. I don't know what else I wanted to say about that. I guess I just wanted to acknowledge it, and
But asking if it feels different is like, I feel like that's also a hard thing for me to gauge, because guys, I'm in Missouri. Of course it feels different because of this year.
Yeah. I mean, in case people are listening from the future and don't know what was going on in June of 2025, everything sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Basically all the large corporations are getting rid of their DEI like stuff. So even the performative stuff isn't there anymore.
What did I see the other day that, I mean, suddenly it's escaping my mind, like 100%, like, did Trump say this? But I'm sure he did, because it was stupid. Wants to change Pride Month to Title IX month.
What the fuck is Title IX?
I think that's a law against, like, trans athletes.
What the fuck?
I think.
I don't even want to look that up.
Yeah, exactly. But it's, it's something.
Oh my god. It's disgusting. Ugh.
It was basically like, I want to erase Pride Month and make it about hating a group instead.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around right now. The hate.
There's a lot of hate. That's what I was going to say. A lot of hate.
Yeah, and I know I'm like keep laughing, but it does weigh on my mind a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, do you have anything you wanted to talk about or add to that before we move on?
Not offhand, but I do still think that we should have the episode we tried to.
Okay.
I had things to say in response to just the few things that Orion said on the phone. So
okay, so
I'm excited about that.
Before we lost Orion, he called us. But what we wanted to talk about today was inspired by this user on Peach. I won't say who they are to protect their identity, but basically they were complaining that there's a lot of recovery content for cis women all over TikTok. But, quote, if I see one more fucking video of someone in a body that looks similar to mine and everyone in the comments talking about how beautiful and womanly she looks and how she grew into her womanly body, I'm gonna fucking scream. This person is a trans man, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's empowering for them and that's great and it's not content meant for me, but holy shit, what I wouldn't fucking give in those goddamn moments to figure out how to trigger a restriction relapse so I can remove all the elements of my quasi-recovery body that are celebrated as womanly. Then they say, obviously, trans people know about the prevalence of EDs in our community and how intrinsically it can be tied to gender dysphoria, but finding people talking about it, especially people who are publicly recovering, is non-existence and it sucks. So, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I remember I read that too. So
okay,
yeah, that was a really thought-provoking post.
And they're right. Like, I feel like all of the people I see who are recovering publicly are cis women who are like embracing their curves and their womanly body. And I'm not trans, but I am non-binary, and I feel like I am also very triggered by womanly bodies on me. Yeah. I love womanly bodies, trust me, but like, I don't know, when it doesn't feel right on me.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I was going with that, but that's the seed we're planting today.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking that too. And also when I read that is that I was just like, well, yeah, I mean, I find that triggering to begin with because it is nothing that I like on me either. And it also, feels like it's putting people in boxes, even just just as a cis straight person, because there still are like all different bodies, and they're already saying, like, this is like what you should aspire to. This means that you're a real woman. Like, aren't you happy to have all these curves and shape and everything like that? And it's kind of like, well, not all healthy women do. And it already, yeah, feels like you're shoving people in a box. And so I was thinking like how angry I get about that. And just, yeah, imagining like this person's position, I was like, well, no wonder. That's like multiply it by 10.
Yeah, they're
Get it.
expecting everyone to recover the same way, for
Mm-hmm.
everyone to have the same sort of identity. I mean, this is why I wanted Orion on to talk about it, because as a trans person, he has more authority.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's really important to get the perspectives of the people that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, this made me think of experiences I've had in treatment with friends who were trans or non-binary, and how fucked up it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of them was unable to use the correct bathroom for like a whole week that they were there, and then finally after a week they could use their own bathroom. But it's like deeply traumatizing to some people. And like, I wasn't out yet. I didn't even really know I was queer, but I was exploring it,
Mm-hmm.
and it isn't talked about in treatment. Gender isn't talked about in treatment. We did have a group that met once a week that was like a queer group for the whole, like, not just the eating disorder patients, but all the patients in the psych unit. So like, we had people from the anxiety wing. We had
Mm-hmm.
and that was lovely, but that's the only time I've encountered that.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's they're ignoring a large percentage of people with eating disorders.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are your experiences just observing?
Yeah, I feel like it has to come with that like caveat that it is just observing. I obviously wasn't living it, but I I was starting to say to you earlier, like I feel like surprisingly pretty good. Like I hear a lot of what you talk about, so I would expect much worse. But the last time that I was in treatment a couple years ago, then I would say, like the best friend I made there, he was a trans male. I did not know this until because in their rooms, obviously, like just having males and females, they're gonna have females share rooms and males share rooms. And there was another guy who had been there for a while and had to transfer to a different place. And they're like, oh, he's coming back. And it's funny because they both had the same first name. And that's what we were just like, we can put you in the same room, and you can be, like so and so squared can be here. And that was actually when I found out is he was like, well, I don't think they'll put him in a room with me because I'm trans. And as it turned out, they were just like, so's this other guy. So they were just
Wait,
like,
really?
yes. And it
Oh
really was
my
like,
god.
it actually was really cool to see because that other guy was like younger, not as far along in it. And, like was like my friend was post-op, he was pre, and, I think had just really like recently started to transition and felt really like shunned by people and everything like that. And so that's what, it was like my friend became like his big brother. Like it was so sweet to see. Yes. He just kind of like led him through all these things because they're
That's so
already there going through the
beautiful.
same thing. Yes. That's why I was just like, I felt like I saw a really good experience, and everyone, I feel like staff was pretty sensitive to it and everything. And so, yes, it felt very unusual, but it was
Yeah.
good.
It sounds like genuine queer joy in one of the most undesirable
Yeah.
situations. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. That is very wholesome. Oh
Hmm.
yeah, when you said fortunately the other guy was trans too. I don't know, it kind of made me laugh because I was just thinking how unfortunate it is that so many trans people have eating disorders. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm glad that you found each other and that you had the
Yeah.
support, but you shouldn't be there in the first place. Like, the whole, well, okay, according to past guests who are trans, I'm talking like 4 or 5 years ago maybe, like
Hmm.
Diana, Sabrina, shout out if anyone remembers them. They both talked about their gender dysphoria and how their eating disorders allowed them to feel safe in their bodies, and or delay, development, whatever. That's
Hmm.
pretty common. And again, I feel like that's not being addressed in treatment. It's just like you go in, you eat, and then you leave, but then you still
Yeah.
have the same issues, but now you're in a body that doesn't feel safe.
Yeah. And that's something too. Like I did think of that, I think like seeing it actually like get addressed more in the place where I was at, and it was like good for them for trying, but I do remember thinking even just like, but it still seems like, it's kind of like a fringe thing that we're just like, oh, okay, we'll make sure that we focus on this because this is a section too. And I was thinking about it like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the majority. I mean, because when you think about it, then it's like, age should be, and this is the range, so we set that for you.
It's like the fucking BMI.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real dumb. I feel like we shouldn't talk about it anymore until we have an actual trans person on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is I was like, I feel
Like,
we
what do
should
we know about this?
try something else. Try to talk about something else.
Yeah.
I'm actually just looking up because I screenshotted something on Instagram the other day that
Oh yeah?
maybe you can help me out. I'm trying to make it into a topic because
Ooh.
it just like floored me. And it was like 5 or 6 like flashcards talking about this, and I only screenshotted 2 of them because they were felt the most relevant to me.
Flashcards? You mean slides?
Yes, I was desperately searching for the word. I
I'm
don't know
just
what I
giving
was.
you shit.
No, I was gonna say something else at first, and now I wish I did because it was absurd. So- but anyway.
Anyway, what did the flashcard
Yes.
say?
Yeah. So it says, if your body panics the moment someone else gets upset, you weren't taught to regulate, you were taught to monitor.
Oh
And
my
then it
god.
talked a lot about, yeah, like self-regulation and things like that. And the other interesting one to me, and this one in the end kind of related back to the whole like eating disorder experience as well, because it said, this isn't about needing validation. It's about how your nervous system was trained. And you think things such as, their emotions determine my safety. If I can keep them calm, I'll be okay. And if I disappear, maybe the damage will too. That last one was really like, oh, fuck. Yes.
Wow. I mean, I definitely want to do an episode about self-regulation sometimes because I honestly don't know too much about it. I don't know how to do it.
Same.
It wasn't part of my education, and obviously I never learned to do it because I was always watching out for the emotions of other people. And
Yeah.
I was just journaling about that the other day, so it's funny you brought that up.
Well, it was weird for me too because it just came up because last weekend my work got everyone tickets to an MLS soccer game here,
What's
and
MLS?
Major League Soccer.
Oh. Okay. Carry on.
Yes. And me and the boyfriend were going to that, and he was supposed to pick me up at a certain time, and he got distracted and ends up picking me up like 45 minutes later than he said. So we're going to be late to the game, and he's trying to like avoid routes with traffic last minute and making wrong turns, and he's getting like really like stressed out and everything.
Oh my God.
Clearly. And I just sat there and said nothing the whole trip, or maybe like just said words very quietly and calmly if he asked a question, and then shut up. And like once we get there and obviously everything's okay, then he said something like that was just like, I really appreciate, because I know that like he has his own anxiety issues, and he's like, I know that I just like let it get to me, and that I let it stress me out too much, and I think that it's a catastrophe when it's not. And so I really appreciate you, just being really calm and everything like that. And I said, I was like, well, I'll be honest, that was my anxiety at work, because that's what I do. Is people get agitated and people get irritated, and it actually like freaks me out so much that I just shut down and shut up.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of like yelling in our house growing up, and so yelling has that effect on me. I just shut down. And it's funny because other people think you're like, oh, you're so stoic, you're so
I get told, like, you're
unflappable.
such a calming presence, and I'm like, no, I am a thunderstorm inside. This is just I should just go like yes.
Thunderstorm inside.
Maybe that will be our title.
I saw the coolest thunderstorms on the beach when I was there with my family. It was like one of the only times on the whole trip that I felt like peace. And I was by myself. It was just like, I've never seen such crazy lightning storms in my life, but it was silent.
Oh wow!
It was just
Storms
like
on
filling
the beach
up.
Are so cool. For
oh my god, it was amazing. I journaled so much. My mom was like, "Are you coming inside?" It was like 11:30 p.m. I was like, "No, I'm gonna stay out here just a little longer." Yeah. I feel like I'm still recovering from that trip in terms of like getting back to normal. I was realizing yesterday, like, there's not a moment of the week where I'm not working. Between my 3 jobs and this podcast, like, I just never am not working unless I'm like on my bicycle or in bed.
I mean, I'm not always like that, but the last few weeks with all the condo stuff, that's what I've said. Is I was like, it's basically like I have 2 jobs right now, because work's been super stressful too, and like lots to get done. Feels like more than I can actually get done in a day. And so I'm just like, I have to just like go at work, and then when work's over, then it's like, okay, now I have to like schedule these things to happen and talk to these people and get this straightened out. It just feels like I get to go home and do another job for 4 hours.
Oh my god, my sister, who just turned 25, she was in the car with me, and she was in a kind of a sad mood, and I was like, "What's up?" And she was like, "I just feel like we shouldn't have these jobs where you don't have any time for yourself, and like it just never ends, and there's I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. That's life. That's the society we live in. It sucks, but she's like, does it ever get better? Do we ever get a break?
When you retire?
When you're dead.
Oh.
When you're hospitalized.
Yes.
I mean, that's the shitty thing. Like, it really was nice to go to the psych ward and have a week off.
Exactly. I was going to say, I don't enjoy having to be hospitalized in the past, but I do enjoy the part of getting a break.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a terrible experience, don't get me wrong. Like, not pleasant, but that part is.
Yes.
Yeah. I really hope that neither of us have to go to treatment again anytime soon.
Or
Fang agrees.
Or ever.
Or ever.
I mean,
we've
talked about always keep the option open. I can't pretend like I haven't relapsed before, but if I get to the end of my life and realize, hey, 2023 was the last time, that's fine.
Oh, my sister and I think, was it last week I was talking about the like intervention she had with me?
Yes.
So she apologized for the stuff that she said, and she asked me like how she could help and everything. So we're good now.
Good.
Yeah, we're really excited to live together in Richmond. It's like only 2 months away, so we're looking at houses. We're talking about like meals and stuff, and like I was like, I get food stamps so I can buy the groceries and you can cook, because she used to be vegan and she is a really good cook and she likes to do it. So I'm actually like getting excited about cooking again.
That's fun.
Which is insane. Because I've had the same like 5 foods for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I especially like my current shit place, I've used the stove twice and the oven 0 times in the almost year I've been here.
Do you remember what you made those 2 times?
Sadly, I think the first time I boiled water to pour down the bathroom drain to unclog it.
All right, that doesn't count.
I know.
That's not even. Anyway.
The latest time I know I boiled water because I was making pasta salad. So I didn't make a thing.
I made pasta salad yesterday! It was so fucking good. That's huge for me.
Such a good one.
Wait, what do you put in it? This is what the listeners want to hear about.
Yes. I put cherry tomatoes, black and green olives.
That's such a good idea. I should have done olives.
Fresh broccoli, fresh basil. That's good too. Like rip some up at the end. I usually just pick at random. I put 2 types of cheese. I think that's it. Yeah, and use the tricolored spiral pasta.
Oh, that's what I use.
And then you just dump a shitload of Italian dressing in it.
That's what my sister did when she made hers. She used Italian dressing. I used balsamic salt and pepper. And
I
it
love
was a
balsamic,
little, oh my God. But yours sounds really good. I kind of want you to make some for me someday.
I would do it.
But we have to use vegan cheese.
Okay. But vegan cheese has gotten less shitty, right? I haven't.
Oh,
had
it's
it in
so
like
much
10 years.
better now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I have vegan mozzarella.
That's what I always think of.
In mine.
Yeah, like the last time I had vegan cheese, I was like, oh, being vegan would be sad.
Well, it is sad for other reasons. All right. Well, this has been a very interesting time.
Mm-hmm.
I already know the topic I'm going to talk about next week.
Okay.
So,
and I am going to try and work on the one I sort of teased earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The regulation one.
Yeah.
Listeners, if there's anything you want us to talk about so we can avoid situations like this,
yeah.
I think it would be cool to have like a running list of guest or listener suggested topics.
Yeah.
I know I listen to a lot of movie review podcasts, and sometimes they do like listener month where the listener chooses.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys would be interested in something like that.
I was thinking that. I mean, it'd be hard to put together last minute, but there is a handful of media that we've talked about off and on that I was like, we should be able to pull up a review.
Oh, like
something.
What? I can't think of any.
You
there was that movie
gave me
that
a movie,
Christine
and we
recommended.
both had a couple books.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I mean, it's harder to read a book last minute if you're like, a guest fell through yesterday. Read a book. But I do want to see that movie, or I want to finish it. I just started it and watched like 20 minutes. Yeah.
I'm rewatching The Handmaid's Tale. Some light watching.
I never finished it, but I do remember when I was watching it that I decided that I can't watch more than 2 episodes at a time of that show.
That's fair. I'm only doing one a night these days.
I was just like, I was trying, there was a couple a couple seasons out, and I was just like, I'm going to try and catch up. And I was like, nope, I can't handle more than 2. That's pushing it.
Yeah, I love that shit. I love dystopian stuff. Margaret Atwood is my ultimate girl crush. And I love everything she's ever done.
We had a section in one of my English classes in high school, actually, where we read kind of like dystopian novels. So we did 1984, Brave New World, and then we did Handmaid's Tale. And I know that was one of my favorite books I read in school.
Yeah. I love it. And that's totally irrelevant, but
that's what this episode is.
Yeah. Other news. Oh, what's the poll? Oh my God, Lauren, I have not been posting to the Instagram at all. And that means the poll that we did last week is not up.
Oh, well.
So I don't even remember what it was. Happiness.
I was going to say, it was the happiness episode. It was about like what benefit you get from unhappiness or something like that. Or like, how does unhappiness serve you or something like that?
How does unhappiness serve you? Yeah. So you have a couple weeks, give or take, to answer that. You'll get a sticker if you send us a voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like this.
Yep.
It's very cute. You can find the instructions after this in the outro to do that. Happy Pride Month!
We done it!
We did it.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye. If you like what you heard, tell a friend about the podcast. You can send them to picklesandvodka.substack.com, where they can listen to our entire catalog and find our newest merch. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us a voice message at speakpipe.com/picklesandvodka. My personal Instagram is at xtinajumper, and Lauren's is at Lauren3_AFH. We'll see you next week.